Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nicholas, again here with Glitch Tesla, here on my Tesla Model 3 Midnight Glitch. Today we'll be going over some more autopilot features. Now today we'll be going through what autopilot looks like currently, as far as what you'll be seeing in a base Model 3 or Model Y or any Tesla that you would purchase, as well as what the future update would possibly look like with full self-driving capability. Now, full self-driving capability is a driver assistance package. It's not full autonomy, but it will give you additional features like being able to use auto steer in the city and being able to fully navigate to your destination, whether it be a grocery store or just to go pick up little odds and ends and then come home. That's one of the great things about the full self-driving. It also has other features, but today what we're going to be looking into is how autopilot, as well as the full self-driving capability package that I have, how it looks today versus what it will look like in the future. Now with that, we'll be going over the navigate on autopilot, which will be able to change lanes for you, take exit ramps, and again, keep your lane and your follow distance behind other cars, and generally just be there to help make your drive easier. Now, navigate on autopilot will also get you on or off the highway, in addition to those lane changes, based on what your navigation is set to, your destination. So let's go ahead and give it a go. We'll take a look and see how that looks. So here we are in Midnight Glitch. As you can see, I can't enable autopilot currently on this, well, it's sort of a two-lane road. It really is a two-lane, but there's no line markings. So, and it's slightly narrower than a standard two-lane road. But it's a county road. But it's a county road, and without those, so it's a county road without the lane markings. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get to autopilot, or to be able to automatically stop signs. Alright, now that we're on autopilot, let's go ahead and talk about a couple things. I went ahead and plotted in a trip to go get some lunch about an hour away. That way I have plenty of highway and be able to go through and show you exactly what autopilot is capable of with 2020.40.8. So we're on a state route. This is 55. I usually have it set to about +3 because everyone's speedometer is off by a little. And it usually keeps people from being right on me for going too slow. But I do have my hand on the wheel. It popped up saying, you know, keep your hand on the wheel. But a lot of times I kind of, you know, relax a little bit and don't put enough tension on the wheel. And it sometimes lights. So that pops up, but it usually doesn't nag me too often because really I don't take my hand off that often, and when I do, it's usually to scratch my nose or something silly. Now, it's been a while since I've done any of these videos. Most of these videos have been on a prior channel, but with Glitch Tesla, this is the first time you might be seeing it. So, one thing that was added earlier this past year was the ability to go through and take a look in 3D the environment around you, as well as be able to detect other things like other cars. There was a trash can or two that was on the side of the road that we passed, and typically, like right now, it's a double line, double yellow center line, and you can see this here with the gray line here that detects that it's a no passing zone. So now it's coming up to a dash, it automatically went back to a single line again, indicating that we could technically pass. So these are little things that autopilot and all the cameras have been able to detect and pick up as the software has improved. And right now, Navigate on autopilot, it is on, but it is not active right at the moment. Otherwise, it would have a large blue line in the center instead of the 2 lane lines that you see now, which is your standard autopilot. So as I get close to the highway, I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. It is now able to detect road signs as far as speed limits. Other signs, not so much, other than stop signs and traffic lights. Those are also other things that are currently capable in this 2020.40.8 stable release. I say stable release because there are early release versions being tested currently that have more capability than this right at the moment. And this is right now just your standard autopilot, what you would get with every Tesla. Just your 2 lanes here, and it would detect things coming and going. It should be able to detect road signs like your speed limit, and maintain a follow distance to a car ahead. But you see all kinds of cones there. It picks those up. The road sign, we're still at 45. Up here it's at 55. And then I'll automatically switch back to 55 since I didn't manually adjust the speed limit at all. Now a lot of times it will still go +5 on the speed limit if for some reason your speed is greater than 5. Like back there in the 45, it was technically set to 50, even though I had this set to +3. Personally, I think that's a bug. It shouldn't be that way, but right now it defaults back to +5 if you're well above a difference in change of speed like that. And my guess, just to keep people from being a pain when you're driving down the road. You know, sudden, acceleration or deceleration, not too many people like. So if you got that little bit extra, that might be enough to keep some people happy. So up here we'll be getting on the highway. Right now, autopilot does not do turns or anything else at this stage. So I have to manually take over, turn my signal on, take the turn myself, and then we'll be getting on the highway. And then from this point on, it only shows some clips of that's kind of notable. Any kind of adjustment or changes. So right away, I'm going to go ahead and get into autopilot. Now it's in Navigate on autopilot, and it's already has the speed for the highway. So we're going to get up to speed, and it should, but it won't. Sometimes some ramps don't always get up to indicate over in time. I don't get that. My guess is because it's still not really full self-driving, so it still has limitations on it that really make the driver do most of the work. So with navigating on the autopilot, it will try to change lanes based on your speed. And I'll show the settings here. You can have mild, average, max, or turn it all the way off. You can have navigate on autopilot turned on or off at the beginning of your trip. I've kept it on now. I've gotten used to it. They've also added this exit passing lane, which if you keep this on no, it'll keep you in the left lane forever. It'll never try to get you out of it. So I'll explain real quick on these speed-based lane changes. So I'll mention real quick about the speed-based lane changes and what these settings are. Roughly, mild is about 10 miles per hour difference in speed. Average is about 5 to 8. And then max is usually about 3 to 5 or less. Actually, it may be shifted down some. So mild is really about 8-ish, 10 to 8. Average is about 6 to 4. And max is basically, if there's any kind of difference in speed, a couple miles per hour, it will try to get you to pass. I keep it at average because right now it's doing pretty well. I have it set to 75. The truck behind me is doing okay. He'll probably want to pass anyway because it's the downhill stretch, and he is. So you'll see him passing me in a second. But I usually keep my follow distance about 3 to 4 on the highway. So that's roughly about 3 to 4 seconds behind the car in front. If you haven't seen Navigate on Autopilot, I'm just trying to go over everything for you. If you have, I'm sorry. I'm trying to go through and get as much information here as possible for anyone that's new to this brand new channel that I'm building. So I generally like to just stay in the right lane and just go with traffic. If traffic's not going too bad, 2 over is fine. 3 over is fine to me. To other people, like these people here, I can't say much. But another option that you can have with the autopilot and the Navigate on Autopilot, and this is currently grayed out because I can't change them. It says car must be in park to enable. Is to require lane change confirmation or not. I have it on, so as you see it's popped up a couple times. It's give me a chime, which is also an option down here. Whenever the confirmation is turned off, it will either give you a chime, it'll vibrate the steering wheel, or do both, as far as an indication the car is about to do something or wants to do something. And then you just kind of gently put pressure on the wheel just to kind of acknowledge, hey, yeah, that's okay, go ahead and do it, and it will do it for you. Personally, I think it's, I haven't tested in a while, but when it first came out, I didn't like it. So typically, the reason why I don't run with the no confirmation is the fact that after a while, you'll get some people that really want to, pass everybody in speed. Let's go ahead and allow this to kind of show you here what this does. It'll automatically change lanes for you once you confirm. But if you have the no confirm turned on, you just kind of jiggle the wheel. You don't have to press the stock down to confirm or anything like that. It just does it for you. But there's some people that drive on the highway at like 10 over, and now they've of course sped up and is annoying me. But there are some people that speed 10 over, and you might be going 65 into 70, and they're going 80. And navigating on autopilot right now, it's very cautious. It tries to make sure that's clear before anyone happens to come up behind you and it cuts them off. But it does happen, and I think that's going to be probably better off in the newer versions of software, and it might be now. I just haven't tested it that often. But a lot of times, people just come up behind you very fast, and they're not going to slow down. So they will go ahead and, get in your way when the car wants to change lanes. And if it's one to do it on its own, there's potential there for it to cut someone off and get them mad. That's just the way it is. I'm not sure why the change there. Ever since they implemented the sign reading, and here it wants me to go over because I'm no longer going that speed, and I really shouldn't be in the left lane if I'm not passing, which is actually very smart. But it must either saw a road sign, or it has some old speed limit information in the navigation, and so it sent me back to 70 straight, 70, when typically if I tap the sign, it sent me back to my default of +3. So there must have been something there that caused that not to like that. So up here it is 55, and you can see signs on either side. It did change the speed here, but it did not change my limit, and that was probably because I adjusted it manually. Otherwise it would do that for you. And again, tapping on the sign, on the speed limit sign on the screen, will set that to whatever the speed limit is, plus whatever offset that you have set in your autopilot settings, which are down here. And you can also tap on the speedometer number up here to have it set to the current speed if you're going faster or slower, by manual, using the pedals. So this is basically Navigate on Autopilot currently. I may throw in a couple other clips here as we go along and head on back. But this is Navigate on Autopilot. Not much is changing here. This is how it works on the highway if you have the full self-driving capability package. If you don't have the full self-driving capability package, you'll have standard autopilot, which again, you'll have the 2 double lines instead of the single one. It'll still read the speed signs. Up here is the 70 again. It'll still maintain centering in your lanes, as well as distance between other cars in front. So here's the 70. It changed to 70, but for some reason it's not updating, and I probably have to bump out of autopilot. I'll do that, reset it, And this is what you'll get on a standard Tesla, any model. No additional cost. It's built in base to whatever model of Tesla that you get. Only the navigate on autopilot, the lane changing, the on and off ramps are part of the full self-driving capability package. Now this truck up here is going slow, and any moment here it'll probably ask to change. I'll go ahead and confirm. I'll also look behind me using the mirrors, and they've also updated the cameras. You can get side views now, which is awesome, as well as the rear view mirror, backup camera. But I'll typically use those. But you can see as the truck ahead was slower, it wanted me to get over into the passing lane so I can maintain whatever speed I have set. And I'll bump this up because I'm in the passing lane and I'm kind of clogging it up for this van behind me, because for whatever reason they decide that they want to go ahead and be faster. And again, once we pass that semi back there, it's wanted me out of the passing lane, so I went ahead and accepted, and it brought me back into the right-hand lane. And this van now is not passing, even though that there's plenty of opportunity to do so. There's other people behind them, so you can kind of see. You can't zoom in on any of the cameras, but I mean, they're hanging that back here. They're a ways back. I'll bump this back down a couple mile per hour. That way it doesn't try to get me into passing lane again for whatever reason while this van is slowly creeping past. Now, in this clip up here, there's actually a state trooper that has someone pulled over. Actually, a couple state troopers. And this is something that Navigate on Autopilot does not recognize just yet. It doesn't recognize emergency vehicles on the side of the road. So that's something that you need to be aware of when you're using either autopilot, which is not going to lane change anyway, or the Navigate on Autopilot with the full self-driving capability feature. You'll need to always maintain awareness of other people on the road, any kind of obstacles in the road, anything that you need to move over for some reason. Like in the state of Ohio, there is a move over or slow down law. So I was in the left lane already when I had noticed, and the truck behind me, I believe he got over too. I was paying attention once I passed him, but of course I don't like camping in the left lane like some people do, but this is something you have to be aware of when you're using autopilot, is you always have to maintain control and maintain the fact that this is to assist you driving. It is not a replacement for driving, and it won't be for some time. There's a capability of it. Obviously, that's why there's name full self-driving capability. It's capable of doing, fully all the functions that you would in a normal drive, barring some kind of extreme situation or you need to take immediate action. it'll be able to handle all those things. And even in the future, it should be able to handle some of the more weird situations, because it would have an understanding of what the road is, what the rules of the road are, when to yield, when not to yield, when to change lanes, which it's wanting to change lanes here to follow the route. But it's not necessary, so I just ignore it or just tap cancel. Right up here, half a mile to go. I'm already in the right lane, so it's not going to do any kind of weird shift to try to get over anything, which is good. It's not that much traffic, so I wasn't going to worry about it anyway. But you can already tell coming up to the exit, it's turned on its blinker and it's got me into the exit lane. Now, what I don't like about this is it started prematurely slowing down. That's something that will eventually need to be adjusted, hopefully in software updates. But you can see Navigate on Autopilot kicked out, and it says stopping for traffic control. Since I have the traffic control. What is this car doing? I almost wanted to go around the corner. I know I wasn't going to because I don't have the full self-driving beta, but I almost wanted to. But it did stop at the stop light, even though there was a car in front of me that had no idea what they were doing. That worked as it was expected. So I am now here. I'm going to grab my food and we'll hop back on the highway. So I'll see you in just a few moments. Well, my stop was completed. I'm about to get back on the highway. I've plotted in my route. Now, one thing you notice, it does detect the stop sign here, and it puts the stop bar actually back with the where it detected the stop sign, which is not where it really should be. But why is this truck going so slow? I could have went. That's okay. There's no one behind me. I'm just taking my time here. So again, there's no Navigate on Autopilot on regular streets just yet. I do have regular autopilot, so you can see this green light. It allowed me to go through. I'm slowing for traffic up here, and I'll be turning left so to get on the highway. And it says auto lane change unavailable because I'm not changing lanes technically. I'll be turning. But that's again something that the beta has yet to do. Now, so I have a slow moving truck. We're on Navigate on Autopilot. We're about to merge back onto the highway, and we are not up to speed. People fly through this area at like 80 miles an hour. It should be getting over right now, or signaling to get over, but it does not. So I had to bump out of it and do it myself. It's not what you expect at the moment. But it does work for the highway. The reason why I don't think the on-ramps work that well at the moment is for two reasons. One, it'll work better if it was a continuous ramp into a continuous lane. It would be better if the line markings were different. So on that particular, gonna have to, wrong thing. So on that particular ramp, the yellow line is over there, the left lane. You have the dashed center line, and then you have the white far edge line on the right side. So most of the on-ramps in Ohio and the exit ramps are the same way in a way. The solid white line on the far right disappears. It doesn't continue. It turns into a dashed line, which indicates that, you know, people can change lanes. But the problem with that is it does not always realize that the lane is going away. It doesn't merge. So the actual lane for the on-ramp, there's the continuous white line, and that one continues on. That picks up where the white line for the, you know, through traffic, the traffic that's on the highway, disappears. So, and then after a short span, very short span, that dashed line that you get for center line disappears as well, and the lane merges. Well, this is still not great at determining, one, how long that merge area is. A lot of times once it gets the end of the dashed lines that disappear, like up here, might be able to see it. The concrete's different here, but there is no dashed line. It's just a merge area. There is no like separation in the lane. It just becomes a lane. And nav on autopilot doesn't do well with that. Now, in some places, there is a short dashed line that continues all the way through until that white line picks back up again. Those are better, but it still doesn't determine the merge area very well. Usually it's very short merge area, because that dashed line, you know, it just indicates, you know, that the lane is basically ending like right now. That's what it actually means. Probably not. I don't know. I like the fact that the state started doing that in some areas, and they need to do it everywhere. Like right here, this exit ramp has this short dashed line, and that's great for keeping this car centered. That's another buggy thing with, it's not really a bug, it's doing what it's supposed to, is keeping the lane centered in the lane. But that lane expands, and so it kind of shifts, and I don't like it. But here, with the upcoming full self-driving beta, there looks to be some problems that might be better or fixed, because it has more of a concept of where the path the car should be going versus just keeping in lane lines. So, but that is pretty much it for Navigate on Autopilot. Thank you for sticking around. I'm going to just hang back behind this truck for this hill because I don't want people driving 80 mile an hour up my butt. But thank you again for tuning in, for watching. Hopefully you enjoy this channel, and feel free to check back in, and if you have any kind of ideas on other videos or anything else, let me know. Just be considerate in the comments, and have a great and wonderful day. Thank you.